And we are live. Welcome, Crypto Warriors, to the Gentleman of Crypto, episode 399. Today is May 10th, and I'm your host, Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at our new time, 3-ish. I have some great news stories for you today, starting with our top story. Crypto wallet Abra adds in-app support for thousands of U.S. banks. U.S. DOJ charges group of individuals who stole $2.5 million in crypto via SIM swapping. U.S. senators seek information on Facebook's Libra crypto project. Boston Fed announces plans to design a blockchain supervisory node. And last but not least, world's first Bitcoin city where cash is banned hopes to attract 3 million crypto tourists a year. But first, our market updates for the day. Bitcoin has been pushing further up. It's liquidated a lot of shorts. It's sitting at $6,335, up 4%. Ethereum up 1.5% today at $172.46. XRP still not doing shit. It's at 30 cents. Hasn't moved really in the past week. Bitcoin Cash is sitting at $294.91. It's moved a little bit at 0.89%. Litecoin is at $77, which has moved 3%, almost in about 30 minutes yesterday. And Cryptocoin is up to 1,248 Satoshis, a gain of 21% in the last 24 hours, people. Yes, so let's see who we have in the chat box. Let's see, Antonio, thank you. Tessa Hall, how you doing? Richard, how you doing, man? Yep, definitely solo today. New Legacy, what's going on, brother? Donald Muhammad, absolutely. Thank you for reminding everybody. Make sure you smash that like and share button. Kevin Hodges, respect. What's going on, brother? Banger Committee, everybody on YouTube as well as on Facebook. Thank you all for tuning in today. Once again, this is the Gentleman of Crypto, and these are our news stories for the day. First story of the day: crypto wallet Abra adds in-app support for thousands of U.S. banks. All right, there we go. Let's get some fiat onboarding. Looks like a cryptocurrency wallet and investment app Abra now allow users to connect accounts from thousands of U.S. banks, the firm announced Thursday. The expanded bank options come courtesy of an integration with Plaid, a fintech service that enables applications to connect with users and their bank accounts. So until now, Abra in the U.S. and the EU, they had the option to fund their wallets via bank transfer. With the new feature, their banks will be featured in-app, which should speed up purchases. Their CEO actually stated, "The addition of these new liquidity enhancements in our app gives users more ways to move between crypto and fiat. I'm sure they'll get their fees in between, but consumers need to be able to invest their money wherever they choose, regardless of where they bank." That is a statement from Plaid's head of sales. And with this integration, Abra users who bank with smaller institutions will have more investment options. What those banks are that they use, not sure, but I can guarantee that it will be some of the bigger banks that have been around: Bank of America, Wells Fargo, some of the Chase Bank, some of the bigger ones will be there. So Abra, they have extended their native support to 30 supported cryptocurrencies. Previously, it was only Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Ethereum, but now they've extended to 30 cryptocurrencies. They're trying to be Coinbase, I guess. And they also plan to expand crypto deposit support in the near term. So remember, you do have to do KYC to use this app, and your data is probably being traded for money as we speak. But this is a great onboarding app. This is an easy way to move between fiat and cryptocurrency. It was pretty easy before, so now it should be seamless. You add your bank, you should do it. And this is what we mean by institutional money. Maybe part of the jump that we've seen recently has been because of the news of institutions coming. So let's see. Let's get back into some of these comments, see what people are saying. Cheryl, thank you for joining in. How you doing? Appreciate you watching today. Let's see who we got. Cool Works. What's going on, boss? Good evening from Atlanta. Gervais Wright. What's going on, boss? Definitely going to get it today. So moving forward, U.S. Department of Justice charges group of individuals who stole $2.5 million in crypto via SIM swapping. This is not anything new. We've heard of SIM swapping before. $2.5 million is a pretty big number for one person, though. The U.S. DOJ released a 15-count indictment on yesterday that charges a hacking group labeled The Community with SIM swapping in order to steal cryptocurrencies. I love how hacker groups have their different names. It's great. U.S. Attorney Matthew Schneider and his colleague from the U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, Angie Salazar, announced the charges in the Eastern District of Michigan. We all know that's King's home back in Detroit. Per Salazar, the investigation was led by Homeland Security, and it spanned over 2 continents. So, according to the indictment, 5 Americans and an Irishman, which is a weird sentence to say it, are charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, and of course, another 3 who reportedly are the former employees of a mobile phone provider. They're charged in the criminal conspiracy as well to commit wire fraud. So basically, what happened was the hacking groups use social engineering. So it's almost impossible to do it completely technical with the amount of security that's out there. However, if you can socially engineer, meaning you can do like them and get hired at a phone company, figure out the ins and outs, figure out how you can actually, get into people's phones or actually get different SIM swaps. This is how they do it. They hack based on social engineering. You don't know what happens, and then boom, your money's taken. So after successfully swapping the numbers of their victims, the community managed to gain access to various online accounts, including crypto exchange wallets. As a result of fraud, $2.5 million worth of cryptocurrency was sent to wallets controlled by the hacking group. This was clarified by Attorney Schneider. These penalties are no joke, people. It actually carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison each. Meanwhile, aggravated identity theft could add up to 2 years for them. So not looking good for the 5 Americans and the Irishman. And we've seen this before. It actually says it in the story as well. In January, 21-year-old stole almost $24 million in crypto via SIM swapping. So, hey, hackers out there, they're gunning for you. However, you have to take the precautions necessary with your phone company. Make sure they don't allow porting. Make sure nobody can change anything on there unless you come in person and show ID, things of that nature. So you want to make sure you stay safe out there, people. The hackers are lurking. The price is rising. You know exactly what that means. So let's see who else we got in here. Andre Third, how you doing, boss? Trek, good to have you in here as well. Crypto Bully, appreciate it. Yeah, I love that switcher from yesterday. Oh yeah, got plenty of them, man. I haven't even really worn them all here, so trying to save them for conferences when I go out. So got a few more in the bag waiting. So moving forward, U.S. senators seek information on Facebook's Libra crypto project. The U.S. Senate Banking Committee is clearly concerned about Facebook's new crypto project and how it's treating individuals' financial information. Now, people, we are the furthest from Zuckerberg apologists. We don't feel sorry for him at all. Anything that basically comes his way, he brought it on himself with his data leak that he had. However, I do kind of feel bad because when the U.S. Senate Banking Committee is asking questions about a project you haven't finished, that means they're already thinking about in the future exactly how that will take away their power, as well as what regulations they can introduce, because this is all about money, people. It states here, last year, Facebook asked U.S. banks to share detailed financial information about consumers. And in addition, privacy experts have raised questions about Facebook's extensive data collection practices, where any of the data collected by Facebook is being used for purposes that do or should subject Facebook to the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So in light of these concerns, the committee wants Zuckerberg to actually outline how the Facebook cryptocurrency known as Libra would work, and what outreach Facebook has done to financial regulators, and what users can expect in terms of privacy and consumer protection. Now, you already know how me and King feel. That once we become billionaires, there will be no financial person sending me letters. That shit's going in the trash. You're going to have to come take it. And at this point, the amount of money he has, imagine if Facebook or if Zuckerberg took a 180 and just said, you know what? Forget y'all, man. I'm going to go forward Project Libra. The financial information that you want, you're going to have to take it. And if you try to subpoena me or have me go to jail, you're going to have to come over to this distant land or country and come get me. And if he goes to a place where there's no extradition, he'll be just fine. Or you can have an army. I'm tired of people being in these positions of power and like, well, I don't know. Let me go talk in front. I wouldn't go talk in front of nothing. If you've ever seen the documentary on the Chicago, I think it was Black Disciples back in the day, their leader, he had every charge imaginable. He went in front of the Senate, said his name, and walked out. He didn't have anywhere near as much power as Mark Zuckerberg. So I don't feel sorry for them when they get bent over by these regulators, because they let them do it. There's no way some guy in a suit making $100,000 a year is going to explain or tell me, a billionaire, what I should do with my company. So like I said, I'm not a Zuckerberg apologist at all, but this does kind of suck for him because they're investigating the Libra project before it even starts. As you know, he was on the at the Senate answering questions before, back when it looked like he couldn't blink, just kind of staring off into the light. But this time it looks like they're asking for more questions, more information, and we'll see what comes of it. I don't think it'll be a big deal if he stands strong. Is like, I'm going forward with it whether you want it or not. So this is a pretty big story because if they try and halt it, this could take away some of their money as well. So let's see what we have in some of these comments. Michael Williams, woo, made it. Oh yeah, glad you're here, man. I know those notifications come late. There's nothing we can really do about it. We've reached out to a few people. It's just the algorithm. Everybody blames it on the algorithm. Change the damn algorithm. Rico Johnson, what's going on, boss? Dirk Diesel, am I on Zoom? Not on Zoom, but I am on YouTube. I'll send you that link right now, boss. Thank you for tuning in as well. So let's see. Next story of the day. Boston. Fed announces plans to design a blockchain supervisory node. What the hell? What in the world, man? I don't understand this at all. But the Federal Reserve of Boston is starting a new blockchain experiment this summer. The Massachusetts state regulator has been one of the earliest and most involved government bodies to dip their toe into the new technology. They've been quietly developing blockchain systems since 2016, but they haven't said anything about their plans. We said this, well, when me and King started our business, some of the first news that got us going was we knew people who worked for the Federal Reserve who were like, what is this blockchain stuff they just emailed us about? Like, we don't know like what's going on. We see you talking about it on, Instagram, way back in the day, and Twitter, way back in the day, back when I had way less followers. But a couple people that saw it worked for the right people, and they've been working on it for a while. So the first results of the trials are out, and the Boston Fed published a white paper. Wow, there are Federal Reserves publishing white papers based on their proof of concepts on Ethereum and Hyperledger Fabric. Now it's getting ready for the next stage, says Boston Fed's Vice President of IT, Paul Brazil. The team is going to look into possible opportunities to set up a supervisory node, a regulatory surveillance tool that should be able to connect various banking blockchains in the future. So a supervisory node basically is a way for them to stay in control of any blockchain movement by banks. Now, this opens a big Pandora's box because these supervisory nodes can be pushed onto different people's blockchains who are in retail, who have different companies, who have, different things like that. They may try to push that on them, say, hey, you can have a blockchain, but you need at least one supervisory node from the Fed. Then that's when you start seeing that control come. And I think that pushback will come, just not yet because they haven't went overbearing, but they've actually stated, if you look at the future, there might be one blockchain that is holding securities, one that's holding derivatives, one is holding cash or interbank transfer. How do you as a supervisor watch the traffic on all these platforms that will be on different technology? Listen, people, the Federal Reserve of Boston just told you there will be blockchains for securities. There'll be blockchain for derivatives. They want to watch what cash moves and interbank transfers. People, is here already. So Kuna adds the Boston Fed is not looking at these explorations from a policy standpoint. Yeah, right. And that is it expects to work with the Central Federal Reserve on these rules. But in the meantime, monetary authorities have to keep pace with the technology department. That is an interesting line simply because a lot of the regulators, what they're starting to find out is when they have a meeting on blockchain, by the time they have the next meeting, everything they talked about has probably changed or been altered in some way. So what they're noticing is what we've noticed. That's why we do news every day. Things change so fast in this industry because when you factor in Moore's Law, every 2 years, information doubles. When you factor in game theory, that people are going to go after, or people are always going to be greedy and go after their own self-interest, you realize the hunt for Bitcoin, the world of cryptocurrency is very aggressive, and a lot of people want to get in on it. So, honestly, the Federal Reserve, they're looking around like, hey, we got to just get the supervisory node going so we can watch it all, and then we can audit it from there. In the future, he states it could be possible we see multiple blockchains. So their supervisory node should have a technical capacity broad enough to cover all the platforms. That's going to cost a pretty penny. Like I stated before, they started back in 2016. And now with the project of the blockchain back office and the supervisory node, they're hiring some professionals to ramp up his blockchain testing. My mom, who I've told about Bitcoin a lot, she equates it to making money and she likes it for the future. But like I said, she has friends who work for Federal Reserve. She actually sent me a job posting for Federal Reserve that's based in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I sent it back to her with the most crying, laughing emojis ever. And she was like, what's going on? I was like, you do realize that's the competition? And she started laughing too and was like, oh, I didn't know. She was like, I thought they were trying to work together. And it's like, no, that's not what it's for. So yeah, I've definitely seen the Federal Reserve coming for a while now. But this is news for today. Straight out of Boston, who got manhandled by Milwaukee in the playoffs, but that's another story. So our final story of the day, world's first Bitcoin city where cash is banned, hopes to attract 3 million crypto tourists a year. Wow. Blockchain City is being built in Malaysia, in which tourists will only be able to use cryptocurrency. The development, backed by the Chinese government, intends to turn 835 acres. That's not a lot, but that's a good amount, that you can buy. You can put a group together and buy that pretty easily. The Malaysian city of Malacca into the tourist blockchain destination of the future. The area will be called Malacca Strait City. I actually need to hit up my people, my international people, to see how I can get in over there, because I'm sure there's some way to get in early. Visitors will know how to use blockchain technology in the form of the DMI coin, so they will have their own coin. If they wish to pay for any public services during their stay, other similar projects are underway across the world as companies battle to create the crypto destination of the future. But the Malacca Strait City development aims to be the first blockchain city in Asia. Wow. So they want to actually open it up for tourism. Official representatives said that the blockchain technology that visitors can use in the area will be DMI, and it is its own private company. So those coins, you'll have to exchange your normal money for DMI coins when they come into the city. And I actually think that we've seen this in small cities. Burbank, California. There's a city in Nevada, in Florida. There's a few small communities that use only Bitcoin. Bitcoin Street in Amsterdam. This is what the future is going to be. You're going to travel places, and because Bitcoin is global, everybody's going to have global Bitcoin at some point, I believe, or at least some sort of cryptocurrency. And then you're just going to exchange it for whatever they accept there. So the exchange rates are going to be based off of how much actual value they bring, because if all the best projects end up in Malacca, and DMI coins are going through the roof, gaining 10,000% over 5 years, people are going to buy that coin, and they're going to go visit, and they can probably get discounts on hotels, public services, all those types of things. So you save money and you make money at the same time. There's a win-win with the blockchain, but it's got to be during a bull market, and we've been in a bull market since 2015, technically, if you think on a long-term scale. So good idea there. I can't wait to actually see. Like I said, I got to talk to some people to see when they'll start opening, but I can't wait to see it for myself. So let's go into some of our comments here. G Graham, what's going on, boss, from Shasta? What's up, boss? Tony Nolly. Antonio, yeah, they're realizing they have no control. That guy, the congressman we said yesterday for the dino of the day, he's a perfect example. He literally admitted on TV that Bitcoin shouldn't be allowed, or cryptocurrency shouldn't be allowed, because it will undermine the U.S.'s power. Our power is in the dollar. Our dollar is based in oil. We lose one or the other, we have no power. So G Graham, let's see. Heard Sherman wants to ban cryptos. Yep. Discuss that. Check out the show from yesterday. Did a whole dino of the day on him. Let's see. Trek. Don't forget how China does facial recognition and KYC. Oh, yeah. I definitely realize that's the thing. That's why I'm just going in for a vacation. I'm not trying to stay there so they can see how much crypto I have or whatever. But, yeah, definitely I'll take a vacation there. Just like at certain places, I'll spend a little crypto there just to see. But if I have to use KYC like I had to buy flights back in the day with cheap air, then, yeah, you only do it a few times. They don't know how much crypto you have if you spend a couple thousand. So good to see there. But yes, that is our show for the day. I want to thank you all for tuning in. A couple of announcements. Blockchain Summit, September 9th through 10th, is in Washington, D.C. at Howard University. We'll post links from here until then. Episode 400. Episode 400 will be coming. Next week, we may be taking a little summer break to get everything ready, because we want to have a big show like we always do for our 400 show. We are on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. And make sure to sign up on Blockchain Online as well for peer-to-peer exchange with blockchain loans and a blockchain syndicate fund. Building all that stuff out now. Can't wait. Haven't slept much in the last few months. I'm so excited. But yes, thank you all for watching, and you all have a great weekend. Cheers.